Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Kate's here again. Hi, guys. How are you? Tonight, I'm talking about sibling rivalry. Sibling rivalry. Sibling rivalry. This disturbing topical issue that rips families apart. What is the cause? What causes siblings? Mostly siblings of the same parents. Why is it that? Why is there a lack of cooperation among them? Same mother, same father. Sometimes even small families, maybe three brothers or two sisters and one brother, you see that they don't want to see eye to eye. They despise each other. They try to pull each other down. And this actually transcends to even when they get married, when they are now living, obviously, they're adults living in their own husbands' houses and their wife, they have their wives. They actually transfer this resentment and bitterness even to their spouses. And the spouses now pick it from there. And you see that silent competition, silent rivalry, silent bickering, silent lack of cooperation. What causes sibling rivalry in families? Because this thing is eating deep into so many families. And what's the scariest part is that um, it doesn't bring about growth or progress in a family. Sibling rivalry doesn't bring about growth or progress in a family at all. At all, it doesn't. It doesn't bring about growth or progress in a family. It's such a bad thing, honestly. And one of the things that brings about sibling rivalry is from the parents. So when you are a parent, you are a mom or you are a dad, and as you are raising your kids, you keep comparing them. The very first thing that causes sibling rivalry in families, comparison. When parents compare one child to the other, one thing you must understand that even though these children are your children, no two children are the same, even when they are twins, even if they are identical twins. You still see that their mannerism, their likes, the things they like and the things they hate, definitely is different. The way they do things, their level of intelligence, the way they either enjoy academics or they like to study is definitely going to be different. So accept each individual child as an individual. Stop comparing one to the other. Comparison, that is one of the reasons why siblings now grow up to now have that. Now there's now that silent competition on the inside of them. Chibi, our mother was always thinking that this one, his grades were high when we were in school. Let me see how he's going to succeed. Now we are working. Let me see whether he's going to do better than me. Let me see whether his wife is going to be as beautiful as my wife or as enterprising as my wife. Let's see who he's going to marry. Now I'm married. Let me see who he's going to marry. Oh, I have four children. Let me see how many children his wife can have. So it's that comparison because the parents kept on comparing. When a particular child is doing very well, you compare and say, "Oh, go and look at your brother." Well, it's not like that. Your brother likes his education. He's always waking up early and getting to school early. So that child will now have that kind of resentment to say, "Okay, they are preferring my brother to me." So that thing just keeps building up on the inside of the child. And a lot of times also, the particular child that they always use as the good example, now starts having this feeling of superiority that he or she is superior to the other siblings. Because most times they actually either buy him more gifts or they kind of compensate him for maybe having good grades in the presence of the other ones. There's nothing wrong in trying to in trying to encourage positive, healthy competition, like maybe giving an example to say, okay, this person is doing very good at school. This is what they did that obviously is making them to work because they're working harder. Take an example from them, their reading pattern, the way they wake up, or things like that. But when you, as a parent, you do it in a derogatory way, you do it to kind of run down the other child, and you do it almost always. You do it in such a way that the child actually feels that you prefer one child to the other. That brings about sibling rivalry. The second reason why there is a sibling rivalry in a majority of families is when a parent prefers one child to the other and they show it openly. To be quite honest, as a mother, I still don't understand why a parent, maybe you are a parent, you have 6 children, you have 5 children, you are the mother of these children, and then you now tend to prefer one child over the others. And I mean, I thought you're supposed to love, because they're all your children, you're supposed to love them equally. But a lot of times, as mothers, when we've taken on a particular child, maybe the child is the one that runs errands. When you call the sibling, maybe that one will say, "Oh, mommy, that one is a little bit disobedient." And the one that is more obedient, there's a tendency that somehow you now begin to show extra love or preference for that one. And you begin to even show it in your character. Maybe even when you buy gifts for the children, you find out that the obedient one is the one that has the best gift and the most expensive gift. The other siblings, they'll be watching, and that can bring about resentment and sibling rivalry. You just see that in building on the inside, silently on the inside of the other siblings, and they want to say, okay, let's see how she's going to succeed more than us. So those are the things that bring about sibling rivalry. When parents take a preference to a particular child or a group of children more than the others, so you are bringing division amongst them. When you want to give gifts, you buy a more expensive gift for a particular child because you think that that one is more obedient, or that one is more intelligent or smarter, and then you buy a lesser gift for the other one. So you are not doing it in a way that you think you are making the other one to sit up or to kind of be on top of their game. No, you are tearing your family apart. So we've talked about comparison. We talked about the first one is comparing the children, and then giving preferential treatment, preferring one child over the others. There have been cases where some parents who were formerly abroad in Africa, they now relocated here. They now relocated abroad. Maybe they came in with 2 children who were born in Africa. And then when they are now residents here, they now start raising other children. Maybe they have another additional 2 children who now automatically are British citizens, because at the time they were born, maybe their parents had indefinite leave to remain, already have naturalized as British citizens. So the subsequent 2 children, or the three children, now automatically are British citizens. Or even a situation whereby the other 2 are still back home in Africa, and then the parents now came in here and they now have other 2 additional children, and then later now bring in the ones from Africa. So there have been cases where now the parents starts giving preferential treatment to the children who were born here, because they were born here. They speak Cockney, and then the other ones, they don't have the English accent, or they don't have the British passport. So they now begin to kind of put a division to give a preference to the ones who are British, and then start treating the other ones who are not British as if they're actually slaves. That is really wrong. These are the things that brings about sibling rivalry. Taking undue advantage of one of the children who are at a better advantage, and then using it to rub off on the other ones who are at a disadvantage because they weren't born here, because they don't have British passports. I've also seen situations where a single mother who has had a child outside of wedlock now remarries, and now doesn't even want the child from the previous relationship to even come close to her and her new husband. And there are cases where even the husband categorically actually spells it out that they don't want that child to be part of their family. And that they keep now, when they now start raising their own children, they give preference. Even the woman herself, she forgets everything about the child from her previous relation and just abandons the child either with the grandmother or with an auntie or other family members, and completely forgets about the child. So these things brings about sibling rivalry. Come to think of it, that child didn't ask to be born. That child didn't ask to be born outside wedlock. So why do you now have to treat the child in such a way as if the child is a came to the world, that it was a mistake that you brought that child into the world? Why not talk your new husband into accepting that child, or let it be part of the condition that whoever is actually going to accept you as a wife should accept every other thing that comes along with you, rather than leaving that child in the background, basically hiding the child, not wanting anybody to know that you've had a child outside of wedlock. And this culture of actually kind of labeling women when they've had a child outside of wedlock before remarrying, I think it has to stop. Because when a man has had children, maybe 2 or 3 children outside of wedlock, and he remarries, they don't label him, or they don't use it to kind of judge him. But when it is a woman, they begin to judge her. Oh, she has had a child before. Oh, how can you go and marry a woman that has had a child before? There are cases even where the men themselves actually say to the woman, if I'm going to marry you, then your child is not going to be part of our family. This is really bad. So these are the things that bring about sibling rivalry, and we must stop to try and treat all our children equally. Treat all the children equally. Don't let a particular child feel that they are superior to their sibling. There are some parents, when some of the children will be maybe even light-skinned more than the others, they prefer that light-skinned ones, and because they feel that that one is more beautiful than the ones that are dark-skinned, and they show that preference. They show that preference openly. So these are the things that build resentment in the mind of siblings. And then when they now become adults, you see a lack of cooperation, you see a lack of love, genuine love, you see a lack of care. And that doesn't help to make families grow. That doesn't help to make families to carry themselves along. That when a particular one has an idea that can actually help to build the other sibling, either financially or whether it has to do with business, they just hide that information because they want to prove to their mother or to their parents that I thought years ago you were showing off with your best child. This is your best child who is more intelligent or who has achieved whatsoever. Okay, let's see how it goes. So indirectly, you see now there's a lack of cooperation amongst the siblings. Now they're not thinking that they are of the same parents. They're not thinking, it's now just becomes as if you see even such people, they become even closer to their friends than with their siblings. Because of what? Because of sibling rivalry. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to talk more about sibling rivalry and the causes and how, obviously, to bring about a resolution of this topical issue in my next video. If in whatsoever way you've been blessed by this broadcast, please comment and share as much as possible so that people can learn from this little nuggets, so that they can begin to be better parents. They can begin to be to treat their children equally without any form of bias. It doesn't matter where the child was born. It doesn't matter whether the child was born out of wedlock. It doesn't matter whether one child looks as if they're more intelligent or smarter than the other child, because you don't know what tomorrow will bring. Life is not, because the race is not for the swift, neither is it for the ones who run faster. It is God that blesses people, and it's God that empowers people. So treat your children equally. It doesn't matter whether one child has a Nigerian passport or the other one has a British passport. Treat the children equally. Let them understand the importance of family. Let them know that family is everything. Let them love each other. Let one not feel that they are superior, more educated, or less educated than the other. So that even when they now get married, that cooperation will now rub off on their wives and their husbands. Because you realize that when they go with this resentment and bitterness and lack of cooperation, by the time they now get married to their wives and their husbands. These people that are introducing into the family now understand that there is a lack of cooperation. If there are some who are actually not the type that want to cooperate, they will actually help to rip off the family even apart, or the more. And before you know it, there's now a big, huge gap between the siblings that even sometimes they hardly even see themselves. Everybody's just even doing their own, and they're actually listening to see each other fail. And these are supposed to be siblings of the same mother and the same father. And a lot of times the parents now forget that they are the ones that actually caused all this. They now start blaming the wives or the husbands, which is wrong. So we just have to be very careful the kind of seed we sow in the lives of our children. Love all your children equally. Stop comparing children and stop saying to a child, you will end up like your father. You will end up foolish like your father. You are just like your father. Stop saying such horrible words to your children. It just helps. It just waters down the self-esteem of any child. It's not good. Watch the words you say, because words are powerful. Watch the words you say to your children. And also be careful the words other people say into the life of your children. Once they are saying such negative words, rebuke it and stop them instantly. Let them not dare try it. You understand? Love your children equally. If you've been affected by this broadcast, please send me an inbox message or like and comment and share. I will speak more on this topical issue in my next video. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching, by the way. Please like and share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tell others about the channel. Let's try and grow this channel together, because there's a whole lot I have to, obviously, to share with you, a lot of information that I've gathered over the years, having practiced as a lawyer for over a period of 28 years. So this channel is very important, where we'll be sharing a whole lot of topical issues that will help us build our family lives, our marriage lives, even our careers, and even to know the where you stand regarding UK immigration law. And in fact, if you have family issues, maybe your matter is in court, or you want to, obviously, issues that has to do with divorce, and there are settlements or that has to do with family properties, just obviously inbox me and bring it to my attention. If you also have a story that you want to share with us, you're always welcome to share the stories. Contact me accordingly, and they will arrange a time to interview you, and also so other people can learn from your experience also. Thank you very much. Do have a good day. Bye-bye.